forward, Madam Secretary, we now have also introduction of legislation. This is a bill to adopt Talbot County Code 190, and this is to establish a planned redevelopment district, or a PRD. Madam Secretary, please read the legislation.
A bill to adopt Section 190-112-1 Talbot County Code to establish a planned redevelopment district, or PRD, as a floating zone, to establish the purpose, requirements, and standards of the PRD, to require a redevelopment plan and establish the process to review, modify, and approve a PRD and redevelopment plan, to require a PRD to obtain site plan approval to implement an approved redevelopment plan, to allow for amendments to a PRD, approved redevelopment plan, and an approved site plan, to establish requirements for implementation of approved redevelopment plans, to provide certain definitions and generally relating to planned redevelopment districts.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Mr. Pullen, once again, we're here for you.
Mr. Pack, this legislation was developed by staff in conjunction with a particular project, actually, that had been suggested at the Martingham community to redevelop that area, and the process began through review of the current requirements of our code for redesigning buildings, reconstructing and things like that. And it soon became apparent that because of the existing restrictions in the code, that the kind of redevelopment that would be permitted was highly restricted. And so there were several work sessions with council. There was a lot of discussion, and staff was given the direction to come forward with this ordinance, and we have worked very closely with the council for the applicants of the Martingham project, and this bill is the result of that. It creates opportunities for projects to come forward to the council. It doesn't require approval. It simply gives the opportunity to an applicant to propose a project that would then be subject to review, consideration, public hearing, and modification by council, and approval, modification, or disapproval. It also includes safeguards through the Planning Commission process for site plan review and approval, and then implementation within certain timeframes. It does require a redevelopment plan to be proposed that contain certain requirements for infrastructure and redevelopment, etc. So it's a very comprehensive approach to an issue that I think at council's direction we've spent some time developing, and it's before you for introduction.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pullen. I know we have also Madam Director from Planning Department, Ms. Verdi, with us as well. Do you wish to be heard on the matter?
I think just very briefly, I think this is a collaborative project that took a lot of time and work with both the county attorney and other attorneys that really created a document that provides several layers of review and approval to make sure a project that meets the intent of our comprehensive plan, but the ordinance allows some stumbling blocks or some inabilities to get through a project, that this will really provide them with an adequate resource to be able to get through the process.
Can I ask that you talk about adequate review process?
Yes.
How does this change the role of the Planning Commission, or does it? In other words, does a PRD go directly to a county council, or does it go to a county council through the Planning Commission?
PRD is a map amendment, so map amendments start with the county council accepting the application, and then they refer to the Planning Commission for a recommendation for an amendment to the map. So it would continue to have that level of process. It's intended to be a map amendment and follow the county council set process for a map amendment.
So the county council has the benefit of the review of the planning commission in advance?
You have to have sponsored the map amendment before it would get to the level of the planning commission reviewing it.
I see. So it comes into the county council directly and then would automatically at some point go to the planning commission for review as to whether it's consistent with the comprehensive plan?
If at least one of the council members sponsors the map amendment, then it would move forward through the planning office, would do a staff report and present it to the planning commission. The planning commission would make their recommendation. We'd bring it back to the county council along with the recommendation on the map amendment and the redevelopment plan.
Okay. Are the two considered, what, you can't have the project without both?
Right.
So you could get derailed on one and not the other?
You need both things. You need to establish the overlay first, which is done through the map amendment, and then what's going to occur within that overlay is what's defined on the redevelopment plan.
Okay. And the applicant would have to show what it is they're proposing. To what level of specificity? In other words, would they be able to say, we'd like to have a, I don't know, you name it, pick a retail shopping center or something here. Do they have to tell you that they have so many people interested, or that who would what companies would actually come in, or do they, it doesn't matter, or?
It's really up to you what you're going to ask for in that review, but generally we're looking for the redevelopment plan to provide a concept plan.
Right.
You know, that they're going to have a retail store and it's going to be approximately
So it's
10,000
like
square feet in
pad
size
sites.
and-
There's
Right.
a 50,000 square foot
building.
on a lot here, and so it's a lot layout. It may
Right.
not show who's going to ultimately end up.
And that they're going to be able to get utilities and services to that parcel. But then subsequent to getting the redevelopment and PRD plans approved, then they come through the site plan process, and that's when we deal with them through the site plan process that actually defines the specific number of parking spaces associated with that. And what the landscaping plan is
Stormwater
the hours
thing,
of operation,
right.
the number of people, stormwater management, you know, the specific details are generally defined within the site plan.
Okay.
Any further discussion, any further comment, Ms. Burley, while we have her? Okay. Thank you, Madam Director. Okay, the matter is now open for introduction by a show of hands of council who wish to introduce legislation at this time. Mr. Callahan, Mrs. Price, Mrs. Williams, and myself. Madam Secretary, when you're ready, give me a bill number, please.
It will be Bill number 1305, and the public hearing will be held on Tuesday, July 14th at 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much.